Before this video starts, I just want to give a massive shout out to all my channel members. If you want to receive a shout out, then become a channel member today and you'll be shown on screen like all these other channel members here. Anyways, enjoy the video. In version 14.4, a brand new Iron Legion was added to the game, this being Grandiose Gunhauzer. Their kit comes equipped with zombie and Aku targeting with freeze, zombie killer, a summon, an explosion, as well as toxic and surge immunities. I want to go over their performance as an Iron Legion and see how well they perform. The footage in this video is of a level 40 Gunhauzer, though heavy focus will be put on their level 30 stats. The best way to start off is to look at general stats. Gunhauzer is fairly tanky, sporting 102,000 health. Their base damage and DPS are somewhat low, with only 24,600 damage and 3.4k DPS. However, thanks to their explosion, their peak damage from 390 to 465 range is 49,300, and they have a peak DPS of 6,700. Just like all Iron Legions, they're fairly sluggish and have a long cooldown. Gunhauzer's cooldown is 177.87 seconds. However, since they have a summon, they can't be stacked in the first place. Their 465 range gives them plenty of safety to strike and land explosions. As a generalist attacker, they're surprisingly potent, in part due to their effective 6.7k DPS. This DPS with high range is hard to come by, as most Ubers with this level of general DPS are more mid-ranged Ubers. The main drawback with this is that this is only their peak DPS within 390 to 465 range, but even the smaller explosion ranges still provide solid damage output. Speaking of raw damage, they deal almost 50,000 damage with the main part of the explosion. While it may not sound like a lot, Gunhauzer's raw damage is extremely high compared to most Ubers, especially for a backliner such as them. It should be noted again that this peak damage is only able to be maintained within 390 to 465 range, so this leads into having somewhat unstable damage if the front line changes a lot. On screen is a chart showing both the raw damage and DPS of Gunhauzer and all the spots that they can deal damage against enemies at level 30. Gunhauzer is able to have fairly solid damage output in every spot that is contained within their 465 standing range. The damage isn't the largest when it comes to their piercing, but their piercing complements their main crowd control ability. Gunhauzer also has extremely good natural bulk, sporting a health stat of 102,000. This amount of natural bulk is on a similar level as Mikako, Kaiji, and Kahime. Their bulk is especially useful for zombies, as they will constantly burrow into their attack range, so being able to tank their hits like nothing is a huge deal. This is also on top of their 4 knockbacks, which give them plenty of chances to reposition if need be. They are also packed with surge and toxic immunities. These two immunities help immensely with their respective targets, as Akus have a high amount of surge spam through the Death Surge, and toxic immunity to counter Zalo and Big Pang Z. As a surge immune attacker, Gunhauzer's damage is some of the best for general surge immune damage. Most other options with a high damage stat usually have their damage split in a multi-hit, such as the Phono Twins and Amakusa. This makes them a very viable unit against a wide range of surge enemies, including the likes of Kapikawano due to their naturally good bulk. Their toxic immunity in turn helps with Infernal Tyrant Neandum, as they won't get massively chunked by his outer 2 attacks, which deal pitiful damage against toxic immune units. They also get the bonus of being able to freeze Neandum to allow more focus on dealing with the supports, and to prevent Neandum from gaining too much ground. Speaking of freeze, they come equipped with a 50% chance to freeze Aku and Zombie for 5 or 6 seconds with treasures. Their freeze time is fairly solid, lasting a good chunk of their explosion cycle. However, the fact that the freeze isn't 100% can leave possible gaps if you're unlucky with the freezes, but it's still consistent enough to keep these two traits stalled for a good while. Freeze uptime after factoring in the explosion against Aku is 73%, and against zombies it is 87%, which is extremely good, especially against zombies. The explosion also allows them to reach basically every enemy with either of these traits, allowing them to make backliners easier to handle. Both Akus and zombies are rather aggressive traits, so having the means to make them much easier to handle will always be a boost. Do note that they lack shield piercing, so ensure that you can break Aku shields with the likes of Cat Researcher and Brass before throwing them against the likes of Fallen Bear and Wicked Face. Gunhauzer also has one last trick up their sleeves, and this being their Conjure. Just like most Conjurers, they deal a large chunk of area damage. Gunhauzer's Conjure has both Zombie Killer and Soul Strike. Because spirits deal a large chunk of damage, you could very easily catch any burrowed zombie caught in their hitbox and remove them from play, such as Zori and Zerzeal. The Soul Strike can also help catch any zombie corpses that might be sitting in between your units. However, the Soul Strike aspect should really only be used in the event a more aggressive zombie like Zerzeal or Zangru is in its corpse state. Otherwise, treat it as a bonus to catch stray corpses while dealing with the main threat. So, how good is Grandiose Gunhauzer? Well, this unit is a rather potent generalist attacker, sporting naturally high attacking stats, being able to score a ton of damage over time, as well as having really good defenses and survivability. Their immunities help expand their generalist usage further, as well as help counter their two main targets. Their freeze is also extremely solid, being able to put two aggressive traits on ice for a while, making them much easier to handle, though some support is needed for shielded Akus. With all that said, I want to thank you for watching this analysis of Gunhauzer. If you thought this insight was interesting, then be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy Battlecats content, and comment down below your thoughts on Gunhauzer. I'd love to hear what you all think of them. Also, shout out to the following channel members: Dr. Deadly, Gamet, Ian Dean, Ninja Stars, Tentacle Gaming, Virus El Perro, Just a Shark, Potato King, and Chorus for being silver members or higher. If you want to receive a shout out like these channel members here, then become a silver member or higher today. Becoming a channel member supports what I do in a way that helps keep the lights on, and channel members receive an exclusive role in my Discord server, for which you can find a link to in the description down below. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day.